Alright, version 5.7 is shaping up to be one of the most jam-packed updates Genshin has had in a while. Not just because of the characters or the events, but because of how many long-requested quality-of-life features are finally getting added. From first Mavuika rerun, new combat modes to Dainsleif Quest, and even a couple of time-saving features. So, in this video, let's go through everything we know so far. Raiden Shogun is back. Let's start with the big one that everyone's been waiting for. Skirk is finally becoming playable. Yep, Tartaglia's mysterious mentor from the Abyss, the one we met briefly during the Fontaine Archon Quest, is finally joining the roster as a 5-star Cryosword user. Based on what's been leaked, her entire playstyle revolves around a unique resource called Serpent's Subtlety. It's basically a power gauge that fuels her enhanced normal attacks and elemental burst. What makes her stand out is how she consumes this resource to ramp up cryo damage over time, creating really tight synergy with Hydro and other cryo units. Honestly, the way her kit works feels like it was built with a high skill ceiling in mind. So if you liked characters who require active micromanagement, she might be your next main. Now, alongside Skirk, we're also getting a new 4-star Hydro Sword character named Dahlia. Dahlia is from Mondstadt and functions as a support. His elemental burst creates a shield and boosts the active character's attack speed based on his max HP, which could be interesting for hypercarry setups. It's hard to say where he'll land in the meta, but if the leaks hold up, he'll bring something fresh to Hydro support roles. As for reruns, there are a few notable ones. Mavuika, the Pyro Archon, is getting her first rerun. If you missed her, this might be your best shot for a while. She's a Pyro Claymore user with a really complex kit that mixes on-field infusion with off-field support, depending on how you manage her Night Spirit points. Then we've got Shenhe, the go-to cryo support for characters like Skirk, coming back as well. And finally, Emily, the 5-star Dendro Polearm user who shines in burn and overloaded teams, is also rumored to rerun during the patch. The current banner leak layout says Phase 1 will have Skirk and Emily, while Mavuika and Shenhe are set for Phase 2. Of course, these aren't 100% confirmed until the live stream, but the sources have been reliable in the past. Now let's move on to the events and new content, and this is where it gets even more interesting. The main flagship event in 5.7 is called Battle of Imagined Arrays, and it's confirmed to give a free 4-star character, Sethos, the Electro Bow use. So if you didn't pull him or just want constellations, this is your chance. The event seems to be challenge-based, probably something close to Hyakunin Ikki or Misty Dungeon, where team building is part of the fun. Another big addition is Tumult Subduer, which might just be the Spiral Abyss alternative people have been begging for. From what we've seen, this is an endgame mode with extremely tough enemy layouts, and completing the highest difficulty tier might reward cosmetic weapon skins. That's right, weapon skins. It looks like they're finally starting to experiment with this cosmetic layer, and while we don't have full previews yet, files for this feature are already in the beta. And the idea is that they'll change appearance, but not stats. Also, Reminiscent Regimen is getting a new co-op update with synchronized challenges, while Traveler's Tales will introduce a new Gilded Chapter story event, focusing on character interactions. There's also a smaller event called Fearsome Ferocious Firepower, which seems to be a combat mini-event with environmental hazards. Now, one of the most exciting developments lore-wise is that Dainsleif is finally returning in version 5.7. His appearance has been spotted in the beta files, which suggests he'll be involved in a new quest. The last time we saw him was actually during the Fontaine Arc, in the bedtime story Archon Quest, where we learned more about Kianria and the 5 Great Sinners. That quest also revealed that Dainsleif has a brother named Vedderfolnir, adding a surprising layer to his backstory. While the full details of his role in 5.7 aren't known yet, the fact that he's returning again so soon has a lot of lore fans excited. And now, quality of life improvements. Hoyoverse is dropping a massive batch of them in 5.7, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this might be the biggest round of usability features we've ever had in one patch. Let me walk you through the highlights. First off, Artifact Management is getting a total upgrade with artifact presets. You'll be able to save and swap 2 full artifact sets per character. Finally, no more digging through your entire inventory to rebuild someone's set just because you borrowed their circlet for someone else. And that's not all. They're also adding video demonstrations of talents inside the character screen, so newer players can visually see how skills work before reading through the walls of text. The map will now display your condensed resin count, which sounds small but actually saves a lot of time when you're planning domain runs. There's also a new group chat feature with support for tagging players using the AT-player syntax, plus a revamped emoji interface that lets you emote faster in co-op. For weekly bosses, the first clear will now drop 3 boss materials instead of 2, which is a big deal for talent farming and weapon ascensions. Plus, they're finally adding a quick glider menu, letting you assign multiple gliders across different characters without needing to open the inventory every time. In domains, a couple of time-saving features are being added. The option to use 1 fragile resin to triple the reward, and a toggle to skip the reward animation entirely. I know some people who've been waiting for that for years. In the Abyss, after completing a full run, you'll now get a detailed stats screen showing your performance, and the rewards will auto-collect. You won't have to press claim every floor anymore. They're also letting you save teams between Abyss floors, which is a blessing for people who swap in reaction-based comps mid-run. Oh, and leyline outcrops can finally be tracked from the Adventure Journal. Now, one last cool addition for collectors. The Imaginarium Theater is getting new thespian tricks, aka character poses. Characters like Mualani, Yao Yao, Liney, and Charlotte are all getting new idle pose options that you can unlock with toy medals from the theater. It's a small cosmetic thing, but for players who love using photo mode, this is definitely something to look forward to. And speaking of cosmetics, there's also something a bit flashier coming in 5.7. Both Raiden Shogun and Shenhei are getting brand new echo effects, which are those visual trails you see behind characters when they run or dash. It's purely cosmetic, but if you're into customizing your favorite character's aesthetics, these new effects are going to look amazing in photo mode, or just when flexing in co-op. So yeah, all of that is coming in version 5.7, and while some of it might still be in testing or subject to change, the sources we're looking at have been consistent across multiple versions now. If even half of these features go live as leaked, 5.7 will be a must-play patch whether you're here for the story, meta, exploration, or just making your favorite characters look cooler. But what do you think? Are you pulling for Skirk or saving for Nod Cry units? Let me know in the comments.